the whole thing with Master of Puppets and Stranger Things. It's become very popular. And
it's good in my opinion. Like,
yeah, so I think it's a good thing, but there are some people who I heard people saying like I guess I kind of understood this where some people would say like, oh well, so you like Metallica now? Well, remember when you bullied us for liking heavy metal, And I kind of think that's such a like antagonistic and just unnecessarily unwelcoming way of talking to people. You might be right, like maybe that person shouldn't have bullied that metalhead guy or girl,
But how do you know that people even bullied people for listening to it? Maybe it just wasn't aware it was there. I feel like the whole trying to gatekeep things is also like why rock and metal might not be doing the hottest it's ever been, because but also for me it's like it's contradictory in the sense that like this was supposed to be a reaction and also like something new that dared to do something else and like didn't really care about like conventions and conformity, and now all of a sudden it's become this thing like, no, you have to like listen to it the right way, you can't do this and you can't do that. It's this thing that should be like a rebel that's supposed to be very rebellious has become so conservative, and I fucking hate it. Like that's one of my main gripes with like metal, like when Gatekeeping, that needs to fuck off and die. I'm getting heated talking about it.
I should have asked you this at the beginning of the podcast. Like, you sleep so well afterwards, just like be totally worn out from just like getting angry about it. Yeah,
shouting. I really don't like gatekeeping. I think it's so dumb. It's counterproductive. It's really hurting more than it's helping anything. And so what if some kid like got into metal by watching Stranger Things? That's a good thing. Like, don't you want, like, if you have a cool thing, don't you want to share it with other people? Like,
yeah, there's a thing that I found personally quite challenging when it comes to dealing with people, which is and it ties in with the gatekeeping and that, you have to do things this and this way. It's when I've had this with a few people where I will be unhappy with something they've done or something they've said, and I'll say that. I mean, I'm not going to starting arguments for fun, but like, if you disagree with something and they say something along the lines of like, oh, you don't understand my life, so you can't comment, you can't be annoyed at me because you don't know what my life is like. And it almost feels like a similar kind of thing to that, where it's like, just because I don't live your life doesn't mean I can't understand and like appreciate
this
perspective. And it's a bit of a different kind of thing, but similar with I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel like you have to kind of experience 5 or 10 years worth of something before you're even allowed to have an opinion on it. And it's like, I find it so frustrating. Like I said, I can think people come to mind when I think of like having disagreements and they say something along the lines of, oh, well, you don't understand what it's like to be me. And I'm like, no, I don't. That's true. But no, you don't understand what it's like to be me. So
exactly.
Explain that anyway. And like, what am I gonna, what's the plan here? Like, how do we fix this? You can't just keep saying that. You can't just live your life like that. And I think it's the same with metal, with the gatekeeping, where there's this sort of, you have to, like, the joke about name 3 bands on the show.
Yeah.
It's like, what, like, what if you like the shirt? I don't, you're supporting the band. So if you buy a band shirt, it's like, Kim, was it one of the Kardashians? I don't think it was Kendall Jenner or someone had a Slayer shirt, and everyone was like, "Oh, you don't like Slayer?" It's like, so what?
But the thing is, like, now a thing that, like, the way I see it is like, I really want this thing that I'm a part of to prosper. If, like, I wouldn't be sad if like metal became the biggest genre in the world. It's never going to be, but like, some people act like it's a bad thing, and I can kind of like relate to some of the stuff that like some of it were for, like, as I talked about, for us who like never felt like we fit in and stuff like that. So it's like kind of like our place of refuge. Like, we could come there because we were different and like maybe we weren't as like accepted. So we had this thing, and now everybody is like becoming a part of it, which I can kind of relate to that. But at the same thing, if everybody was a part of it from the beginning, you wouldn't have felt that outside. You wouldn't like
Mm. Yeah.
So I just think it's dumb to try to keep, like, again, gatekeeping is just so fucking dumb, and like it does the opposite of what I kind of want.
Yeah, I think as long as people come in with an open mind and as long as they just appreciate appreciate it, I just think, like, who cares? I don't mind who likes. I understand the frustration that people have where they think this is my, like, this is where I go to, and this is the thing. It's part of an identity for people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they don't like it when a bit of their identity becomes diluted and it becomes mainstream, because then your identity suddenly, I feel like if you don't have a strong sense of identity within yourself, if your identity relies on, oh, I'm a metalhead, I'm a, I love alternative, I don't know, fashion or something like that, if you tie your identity to all these things, then if they get taken away, you're a bit stuck. Like, you're just kind of like, oh, well, what am I? Like,
but the thing is, they won't be taken away. They would just be appreciated by more people. Like, I feel like also the other thing, like the whole, like, that's my thing, is also super entitled. It's like, the world doesn't really revolve around you, buddy. Like, other people like stuff too. Like, maybe like climb down for your high horse and join the fun or something like that.
Do you reckon gatekeeping can make its way into any lyrical concepts and songs?
Actually, like, for the new stuff, I have some like loose lines and stuff like that. I'm kind of like, it might be something that I've been like super annoyed with. Like, I just see so much of it. I don't think we've been hit with it very hard. Like, people, like, middle community has been pretty accepting of us. But just in general, I really dislike it, and it pisses me off every time I see it. Like,